Good morning, class. Hope you're having a great Saturday so far. We're going to do a short video presentation right quick, discussing about Neil Postman's book, Amusing Ourselves to Death, and basically relying on Marshall McLuhan's famous axiom, the medium is the message. And so our first question is this: what is the meaning of the axiom? Well, the meaning of the message, or the axiom, you might say, is to understand delivery and how we should interpret the message. And this is so important for a Christian to know how to interpret what we're going to hear from the world. Because we have to realize that the command center that Postman talks about in his book, the greatest of them all, is telegraphy and photography. And what is that really? Well, telegraphy is what we hear on the TV, news media, movies, outlets, anything. And photography is basically what we see in a photograph. Is it accurate? Like, say right now that I have a mustache. I come out and say it, and the photography, the photograph, shows me not having a mustache. They cut it out. Well, we know right there it's inaccurate because I do have a mustache. And the point I'm trying to make is this: a lot of times, television and photographs leave out many things or add something to fit their own pleasures. You're going to realize that a lot of things you see in this world today is not very accurate, because they say a lot in the media that the truth does not buy. But when you add the truth, when you exaggerate, you tell a lie, people begin to get very interested. And they a lot of times attack the ones who are very undiscerned about this. And that goes to my second question right here, where I ask, how should it impact our attitude towards visual media? Well, the way I see it is this: we must be cautious what we hear from the visual media. We should be very careful, for the fact is, a good majority of people, including Christians, have an extremely gullible mind to basically believe anything they'll hear. And that's what makes telegraphy and photography such a powerful force in the art of epistemology, because they know that many people don't have the logic, the intellect, to understand the message. And we understand a lot of times the message they say is meant to hurt or slander someone. You see a lot of times in politics how you have both parties, the left and the right, going back and forth slandering one another, saying they're a socialist or they're a communist, a fascist. And many times the truth is not there. We know it's not. But sadly, many people believe that because they don't have a great rational process. And I love how my professor, Scott Henderson, and Neil Postman discussed that, how many people don't have the understanding to believe what is true and what is not true. And so we should approach the visual media with a discerned thought. I love how 1 Peter 3:15 discusses for believers that we should always be ready to give an answer at any given moment. Knowing apologetics, apologia, having a defense. Because you got to realize, if we're going to be a good person of argumentation, that we know how to give a good argument, possibly a defense of the gospel or rebuke of the media, we must have the preparation. We must do our own research, being very diligent. And for Christians, it's basically being theologically prepared to always give a reaction in a very prepared and well thought way. And that goes to my last question today. And point 3, how should Christians be convicted about this? How should our view of God's revelation shape our attitude? Well, it's pretty simple. You be a good discerner of what you're hearing. You understand that a lot of times that books, television outlets, the media, anything will always live on exaggeration. They will always try to twist the truth. And you must have a topographic mind to understand, to be rational, to affirm, and to always stand against contradiction. Stick to the logic always. For if we do that, we can face these problems we hear in the world and be good scholars and know how to interpret the message, because we need that. This world is full of lies and hypocrisy, and we need people that will be good discerners and have good intellect to engage the world and be true about themselves. So I hope that helped today, possibly a challenge for us all. But have a great day and a blessed weekend. Blessings.